What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarthe and today we've got a quick video for you. I'm going to talk about the rogue gold farm within the dungeons in TBC. Now here in the Ochidon area, basically in Terracar Forest, you can do some of the dungeons in Hellfire. They will give you like chests, but here you can farm mining nodes, chests, and also you can find herbalism nodes. So I wanted to go in and test out which ones are the best of the dungeons to go into, because I had to farm all my mining up to level up to be able to make Drakefist hammer, which by the way is now officially main hand on the PTR. So it is officially main hand instead of it being able to be dual wielded and it being one hand. So there's 4 dungeons here. Obviously, there's Mana Tombs, Sarthe Halls, Shadow Labyrinth, and you have Ochidon Crypts. I don't know how to pronounce it. One thing before you even dive in is that all of these dungeons act as their own separate dungeon. It's not like Scarlet Monastery where the dungeons actually are all connected and then you can do a whole round of all of them and then reset. They all act as their own dungeon. I would suggest being PvE spec while doing these runs, by the way, because you're going to sometimes need to sap, maybe even blind and kill one of the mobs and then kill another one. A lot of times it's groups of 2 or 3. Mostly 3 that'll be near the mining nodes or near a chest or also near an herbalism node. And then the next thing to know is that all of these runs take like 2 to 5 minutes tops. So you're gonna hit your lockout within like 20 minutes of your 5 dungeons. So this is something that's really easy to do, a really easy way to farm gold. And the main reason you want to do this is because open world farming and open world basically mining is going to be so hectic with the amount of bots or just the amount of population that's going to be playing the game. And all of the mining nodes or all of the mining routes are pretty much hashed out. And right now they're extremely easy to farm on the beta, but with other people, especially on PvP servers, they're going to be very hectic. It's going to be all farmed out, and you're definitely going to want to have a way of farming gold that's just reliable. And this is it. You can just very easily go into these dungeons and farm it. Also, the very first boss can see stealth, so he's going to see you out of stealth. You're just going to want to sprint past him and vanish. Now in Crypts, the second boss actually does see stealth also, and he doesn't really see stealth. He has an aura that knocks you out of stealth, so you're going to want to sprint by him and then use your Cloak of Shadows and then vanish. But for Mana Tombs, it's pretty straightforward. You can pretty much just walk through the dungeon all the way through, sap things that you need to, and loot it. Most of the actual nodes aren't nodes that you have to fight mobs for. So that's probably the most convenient part about Mana Tombs, is most of the nodes you don't have to fight mobs for. So on average from these runs, I'm about seeing 2 mining nodes per run. You usually see 2 herbs plus per run, and then 1 to 2 chests per run. And if you have these professions, you can farm all of them. The really, really nice things here are also things aren't the most common. So the adamantite ore is obviously a very common ore or a common node, but you can find rich adamantite nodes and you can find eternium nodes in here. Quite often you'll find these higher ranking nodes, and these are really hard to find out in the open world and can be easily farmed out. Although I would highly suggest going to Netherstorm if you're gonna be trying to farm this like very early, because I was able to farm all of the mats for my Drakefist hammer like extremely fast up in Netherstorm on top of doing these dungeon runs. Some things I want to mention to you guys are the differences between the dungeons. So within Crypts, you're going to actually run into a couple places that are very annoying for you to grab the nodes. In Sarthe Halls, you'll also quite often run into nodes that are surrounded by mobs. This can happen in any of the dungeons, and you're just going to need to sap 1, Blade Flurry, Adrenaline Rush, and Evasion, just kill the other 2. It's usually pretty easy actually, even in mediocre gear, and this will get even easier as you get better gear. In Shadow Labyrinth, I've only actually been able to find 1 node before you get locked by that second boss that the door doesn't open. So I've only ever been able to find just 1 node each time I enter. And then the next really big difference between these runs is that actually Mana Tombs is the only one of the runs that you can go all the way throughout and exit back pretty much at the front door. So Mana Tombs is really easy to go all the way through the entire instance and then just walk past the last boss and you just exit. In any of the other instances, you actually just get locked basically, or there's no like exit right at the end of the instance. So you're gonna have to log into an alt and reset for yourself. That's not really much of an issue because we do that quite often when farming things now. It's just for Mana Tombs, you don't have to like group yourself up or anything. It's very convenient to just run right through. Mana Tombs also, for me, has been the most reliable with being able to get the nodes and being able to kill the mobs as easy as possible. In crypts, some of the mobs actually will summon more mobs, more spectral ghosts and stuff, which makes like fighting a 2-pack a lot more sketchy because you're actually fighting 4. Another thing quickly to mention for mining that you might not know as I'm just wrapping things up, you're absolutely going to need +5 mining to gloves. It'll actually fill in the gaps as you hit different mining tiers. You actually can't go up. And if you're going blacksmithing and you're going to make Drakeface hammer, just note that you only need 350 blacksmithing, not 375 to make the first level of the Drakeface hammer. So that's very convenient. You can focus on getting that. Also, I guess if you're making Drakeface hammer, don't farm any like primal earths because you're going to get them from your mining. Now, if you like this sort of video, it's just a quick little guide for you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what else you want me to cover in the channel, and I will see you guys all on the next one.